start talking specifically today about two parts, body parts of the vascular plant, the roots and the stem. You'll want to make sure you have your science notebook along with you as we're going to get started. Our learning objective for today is I can, that means you, I can construct an explanation that illustrates how the roots and stem of the vascular plant help it to survive. Please, in your notes, go ahead and write roots and stem of a vascular plant. That should say plant, not plan. So as we're working, as you're learning today, it's going to be important that you're understanding how important these body parts of our plants are. Just a reminder that Ms. Neville is recording this lesson. So if at any time I go too fast, know that this lesson is recorded and it will be made available for you soon, okay? Also, the guided notes are already available in our new red folder. So, the roots of a plant. The roots of a plant. Please write that in your notes. You'll also want to take some time to draw a plant where you can see the roots under it and water underground. This picture is going to be really important and we'll discuss why. Take some time to go ahead and start drawing that. The roots of a plant are so very important. Two main reasons why our roots are so important is because one, they help to give support or anchor the plant into the ground, and two, they help to absorb water from underground that helps to hydrate the plant. Okay, so in our notes, we should be drawing that picture, and we'll be on this slide for a little while. Question, why are the roots important? And remember, there are two reasons here. Are you writing down your notes like you should be? You'll need them, I promise. So the first reason why roots are so important is because they help to anchor the plant in the ground. And two, they absorb means to soak up, they absorb water. Notice the chemical symbol Ms. Neville is using there. H2O is the chemical symbol for water. They absorb water from underground. So our roots are important. Please go ahead and take some time to finish writing down these notes and drawing this picture. You might want to use colors to make your notes more attractive and easy to study. Ms. Neville is going on at 12:43. Go ahead and get some time, take some time to get that done, please.
Miss Neville.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we have to draw the picture? Because I already did.
Yes, ma'am, we do need to draw the picture, or you could have drawn the picture in the guided notes in Schoology.
Oh, okay.
it may be a good idea when you've drawn that picture to label the roots and label where the underground water is.
Miss Neville.
Yes.
The picture that I drew, can I label it?
Yes, ma'am. Let's take another minute to finish up and then we're moving on. Okay, so let's keep it moving here. So as we learn about the roots, we'll see that there's another part of the plant that takes over after the roots have absorbed all of that water that's needed for that plant, which is an organism or living thing, to survive. So we want to learn about something called hydrotropism. Hydrotropism. If we look at this word and break it down, there's two parts to this word. Hydro means water. Tropism means to react or respond. Try that again. Please take some time to not only write down hydrotropism, but we also want to write down this question: what is hydrotropism? And it's important for us to know that hydrotropism is a plant's response to a surplus or extra amount of water. So hydrotropism is the roots of the plant growing towards extra underground water. Notice the chemical symbol Ms. Neville's using, H2O. So we're going to create a cause and effect chart today, and we're going to be drawing some pictures together. So feel free to have your colors out so you can draw some pictures with Ms. Neville. Instead of me calling this a cause and effect chart, I'm going to call it a stimulus and response chart. A stimulus and response chart. Remember, our stimulus or cause happens first, and our response happens second. So let's pull out our colors here. We're going to draw. I don't have a brown, so I'm going to have to use my burgundy. Okay, we're going to draw some ground there. And we have our plant growing tall and strong here with our roots. Okay, and out of nowhere, there's a really strong rain that happens. And this rain causes a lot of water to begin to gather underground. How will our plant's roots respond? We'll notice in our second picture, ooh, we don't want red. We're going to find that our roots will grow towards that water. Notice how Ms. Neville's taking some time to draw this picture. You should too. Okay, our roots will grow towards the water. Please take some time to finish this picture. We will be going on at 12:52. Remember, H2O is our chemical symbol for water.
Joseph Williams to the main office. Joseph Williams to the main office.
So let's continue here today. So when we're talking about the stem of the vascular plant, this is almost our second stop here. Please write this in your notes. The stem of the vascular plant and the question, why is the stem important? It's important for us to understand that the stem of the plant is important for two reasons as well. The first reason is that it acts like the plant's refrigerator. It stores food in the form of sugar or sucrose and water. So it stores food and water for the plant, and it carries, or new words you need to know, transports food and water throughout the plant. So below our notes here, let's draw a thick cut of a stem. If I cut that stem in half, and it's a pretty fat stem, I'm going to see two different highways. I'm going to see a highway that's traveling down the plant, traveling down that stem, and a highway that's traveling north, traveling up our stem. Notice how Miss Neville's using different colors. You should as well. That highway that's traveling up is called the xylem. The xylem. The xylem carries water from those roots up to the rest of the plant. That blue highway that's traveling south is called our phloem, our phloem. And the phloem travels south and it carries sugar or food from the leaves to the rest of the plant. Take about a minute to finish writing this down. Hopefully you were taking those notes with Miss Neville. So at about 12:57, we're going to go on. So yeah, that stem is extremely important. because it carries food and water throughout the plant. That's why Miss Neville's calling it a highway, because highways carry cars from one place to another, carries people from one place to another. But also, it stores food for the rest of the plant. So for example, if I weren't to water or give sunlight to a house plant for a long time, that stem, that's when it's going to kick in. All of the food and sugar and water that it stored from when it was healthy, when it was able to get water and light easily, it's going to be able to use that energy now to continue to keep the plant living. Kind of like what our fat is used for in our bodies. That's what its purpose is. So when we're talking about those bundles, there's going to be bundles. That word vascular by itself, please write this down in your notes, and this is our last bit of notes for today. When we're talking about a vascular plant, I want you to think of veins. Just like you and I have veins that run through our body. So a vascular plant then would be a plant with veins. And I put that in quotation marks because that's the way I want you to think about it. Just like we have veins or major veins such as arteries that carry blood from our heart or to our heart, from or to the rest of our body. The same thing is true here with a plant. It's a plant with veins. So we learned about two types of veins today, the xylem and the phloem. And we're going to look at this more on Monday when we dissect our celery. But what I want us to really think about is if I were to cut a stem, if I were to cut the stem of a plant, and I'd like you to draw this, please. If I were to cut the stem of a plant, and it's a vascular plant, I'm going to see very neat little bundles here. A vascular plant has very organized little veins. They go all in a nice little neat circle. So if I were to cut a plant and I didn't know if it was vascular or non-vascular, I'm going to look when I cut it, just like this, if this pen was a plant, and I cut it and I look at the veins in that stem, though we should see neat, organized vascular veins or bundles. Take some time to finish writing this down. Miss Neville is exiting out of this at 1:02.
Miss Neville,
Yes, ma'am.
what are we gonna learn on Monday?
We're going to learn more about the stem, and we're going to be dissecting a celery stalk. Go ahead and finish up this slide. So as we end our live session today, it's important that we're able to understand that you learned a lot today, okay? And all of these notes